Good evening, my name is Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube, but I'm not here to talk about broadcasting, video, or advertising in the modern world. I came here to represent one of the most important entrepreneurs in our history, Hedy Lamarr. Hi, my name is Hedwig Eva Maria Kiesler, or Hedy Lamarr. It is a great pleasure to be able to introduce myself to you, even though I'm 106 years old. It seems like time has been good for me, right? Or maybe technology. But this didn't start today. In fact, my relationship with technology began in the late 30s when I made a discovery that allows you today to use and have cell phones. By the way, if someone takes a good picture of me, send it, okay? But going back, I'm here to tell my story of entrepreneurship in science and technology at a time when we, women, were forbidden to exercise any kind of protagonism. But we did it anyway. I was born in Vienna, Austria in 1914. My mother was a pianist and my father a bank director. Since I was young, I've studied ballet and piano, which helped me to become an actress. And following my vocation for being a pioneer, I was the first woman to break the barrier of nudism on cinema screens and, soon after, the first orgasm scene. Imagine what this meant at that time, more precisely in 1933. Maybe you weren't even born, right? That same year, I married Friedrich Mandl, a gun manufacturer in Vienna. In case you haven't noticed a historical moment, I can break the news for you. Years later, I found out that he was involved with the Nazi elite at the time. There were many times when I saw myself in meetings with these people. The more I was held as a trophy in these places, the less I appeared in movie screens. For 4 years, I was married to a sexist and controlling man who forbid me from leaving the house and doing what I loved the most. 4 years thinking about running away. But how? One night, I convinced my husband to let me have dinner wearing all the jewelry I had. Earrings, bracelets, necklaces, everything. He was surprised at first, but as the ego was big, I claimed that this was to show off all the gifts I have received over the years. During the night, I drugged him and ran away to freedom. An act of courage for any human being in that context of persecution and murder. Imagine then for a woman alone. The first destination was Paris, then London, until finally reaching the United States of America. In Hollywood, I starred in more than 20 films between 1938 and 1957. Here's a question: who watched Snow White there? Yeah, I was Walt Disney's inspiration for the protagonist's face drawing. Good. So far, you've met the actress Hedy, the brave and pioneering woman. Now it's time to meet the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship does not mean just opening a company and running it. Any administrator can do that. To undertake is to put in the effort, sometimes starting from nothing and creating something that remains for humanity. And that's what I made. As I said, my mother was a pianist, and I inherited that passion from her. One night in the late 30s, my friend George Anthell, we're just friends, okay? We were playing this song here. As he played the piano, alternating the instrument controls, I found that if we continuously changed the frequencies of our voices, only the two of us could hear each other. That seemed fantastic to me. At first, we had a lot of fun with the discovery, but soon after, I started to think about how it could be useful, how to transform it into something that would go down in the history of humanity. That's when the context of wars and Nazi movements gave me an idea. What if we created a radio interference device to detect Nazi raiders and also block the continuous signal for missile control? My great friend, musician, and inventor George Anthell and I started to study, do researches, and develop the project from start to finish. In 1940, we patented the project under my Christian name, Hedwig Eva Maria Kiesler. In 1942, we submitted the frequency alternation method to the United States War Department. But it was refused because the idea of switching the 88 frequencies was too complicated. Do you believe that? Only in 1962, American military troops incorporated the system in Cuba. From then on, with the success of the equipment, other companies became interested, and it became the basis for modern communication technology, such as COFDM, used in Wi-Fi, and CDMA connections, used in our cell phones in 2020. For this reason, I won the title Mother of the Cell Phone. And now I have 2 questions for you, which today represent the biggest companies in your country and in the world. Who said that women are less entrepreneurial than men? Why do we have fewer credits than them when it comes to undertaking? The answer is that prejudice is historical. And technology put me here in front of you to correct that. I fought for the right to work, to have opinions, to have freedom, and I got it. Now I want to show you that I'm not behind the biggest cell phone brands today. In fact, I have always been ahead thanks to my entrepreneurship. And like me, there are millions of women entrepreneurs. Some of them will come talk to you afterwards. And as of today, it's up to you to give them credit. Thanks, and call me maybe.